starting. Yeah, that's something. DB admin. Okay, okay.
Okay. So since I will just explain you in the
Mhm.
current scenario. So you know the always the cluster, right? Cluster
Always on cluster.
environments.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
So in this that has been used in the SQL Server for the HADR, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
So they have configured the always on availability group.
Okay.
So the end user, how they will connect if the two nodes are there.
Uh-huh.
So
Two node
one
cluster.
is active node, yeah, one is active
One is
node and
passive.
another
One
passive
is
node.
passive.
So the end user, how they will connect to the active node?
Like normally I am doing with RDP only.
No, no. From the I am telling you in the context of SQL Server instance. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So if the trying to access any end
SQL,
user,
SQL. You mean to say the SQL management studio, like to connect that
yes,
instance
yes,
and
yeah,
like to put the server name something and just connecting to that instance. Okay, great, great.
yeah. So I will explain you that thing. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
if any end user trying to access any SQL Server database instance, they will
Uh-huh.
normally they will give the server name slash that instance name.
Correct, correct, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, if in case of always on availability, since
Mm-hmm.
the two nodes are, one is active and another one is passive, whenever the
Uh-huh.
failover is happened, the secondary
Uh-huh.
will become active
Uh-huh.
and primary become secondary,
Yes,
passive
yes,
node.
yes,
Okay,
correct,
so the
correct.
end user or in the application, the
Mm-hmm.
connection string they will use is a listener name, which is DNS
Yes,
entry.
yes, yes, yes. Listener is the very important part actually.
Yeah,
Listener.
the listener name is created. Okay, the DNS entry. So
Yeah,
that
correct.
DNS entry listener is configured in the SQL Server. If
Yeah,
the
yeah,
end
yeah. That's
user,
just. But
yeah,
in
the
DNS
end
entry will
user,
be create. But the entry will be creating the DNS in the entry only. Like well, first we'll create the DNS entry and we'll privilege to that particular. We'll create one object
correct.
and we'll add those two servers. I mean nodes in
Yes.
that particular object
Mhm.
and after we will be transferring to the SQL team. So that
Yeah,
DB.
with the along with the IP address, correct?
Yes, with yes, correct,
Yes.
correct.
So yeah, in the same mechanism, the application in the application string, they will mention the listener name slash instance name. They won't
Mm-hmm.
mention the node names.
Okay.
Okay. So in case of
Can,
failover,
can you
it
please come
will,
again? Can you please come again? That last point, like you mean to say,
yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah.
in the application. So if
Mm-hmm.
you are trying to, configure the application, which is trying to access the SQL Server database instance,
Okay.
they will not pass the they will not mention the server names, node
O-
names.
Okay. Okay.
They will mention the listener names.
Okay.
Okay, the listener name will always pointing to the active node, which is primary.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
if the end
Okay.
user, the application developer is trying to access the database or SSMS using SSMS or Power BI, whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
what they will do, they will just give the listener name slash instance name. They will get connected to the which is active node. they
Okay.
they are not sure about which is active, which is primary and which is secondary.
Okay.
Okay, if they created the one user which is required for their application,
Mm-hmm.
so it will get created in only the primary server. It won't be get replicated in the secondary server.
Okay.
You got my point, right?
Like if a user last point I just missed out.
Okay, you
If
are
a
trying
user
to you are trying to create a, okay,
Mhm.
trying to access the database using the listener name, correct? Listener name slash instance name.
Okay. Okay.
So you
That I
connected to the DB.
okay. Okay.
Okay, now you want to create one more user in the SQL Server login.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, you
Uh,
created that SQL Server login on that particular instance. The
okay.
SQL user,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that is creating at the DB level only, right?
yeah, that will be
Okay.
created in the DB level only on
Uh-huh.
the primary server only. It won't created in the secondary server.
That means passive. I mean primary node.
Yes, primary node, which is
Uh-huh.
primary node. So it will get created there only.
Uh-huh.
In the
So if
secondary node, it won't get created.
okay.
Okay.
No.
So what happens is whenever the failover happens, the
Uh-huh.
primary becomes secondary, secondary become primary. That
Correct.
user,
Correct.
yeah,
Will not be
the
accessible. Yeah.
yeah, you created that user. Now that user came back to you saying that I don't have access to the DB.
Correct. Correct. Definitely. Obviously, it will happen. Like if primary node
Correct. Yeah.
We are creating in the local user only. So
Yes.
if it is a
Yeah.
domain user, then we don't have to worry. But if it's a local user, and
Yes.
one more thing I need to ask you, like if you are during the SQL installation, like we
Mhm.
can give like some kind of privileges, right, for the if it is a domain user. So normally we can give access to that particular user with the privileges, right? So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
also we can do,
No,
right?
no. At the time of installation, no.
Mm. No, no,
We
the
wi-
SQL
we will
installation.
just give, yeah, the at the time of SQL Server installation, they won't give any, access to the users or AD
So
group.
you are creating a scenario. You are just explaining a scenario like a user is creating in the passive active node, and
Mhm.
what happened is when active node went down, so definitely
Mhm.
the user is coming and saying that I lost access to the DB. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great, great. Okay, fine. You please continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the time, what happens is, if the user comes back to you saying that, no, I don't, not able to access the server or instance because
Mm-hmm.
it says there's some error message. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what you will do, you will report to some DBA and other persons.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, this is the in order to suppress the that kind of they have to create it again the same user with the same SID in
Mm-hmm.
this in the secondary server, which
Okay,
is primary now.
okay, okay,
So in
okay.
order to avoid this scenario,
Mm-hmm.
they just give me this is the scenario how to handle this one. So just I wrote some simple script. So
Okay,
it will be calling so whenever the user is created, it will run at the end of the day. Okay,
okay.
every end of the day. So first it will identify in case of we have to negate the some of the scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
The first scenario is if the server is standalone, we
Mm-hmm.
don't need to run this script.
Okay, okay.
If it is HADR,
Mm-hmm.
so the cluster environment, then only we have to run this script.
Of course, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, that case comes here. So the
Okay,
server is HADR enabled or not.
okay,
So if it
okay.
is enabled, then only the list of comments will run. Then it won't run the remaining things.
So basically, like this scenario, like who explained to you? Like you only created, or like the scenario somebody will explain to you, right? Like this is
No,
something.
yeah, like see, since
What?
I'm
How they
working.
explain to you? Like that is what I wanted. Like what how they explain to you, like that situation, like this request.
See, since I comes under the automation team,
Uh-huh.
the lot of scenarios in the day-to-day activities will, they will raise a request along with their
Yes.
requirements. We
Uh-huh.
closely work with them to understand the requirement.
Okay.
Then, as per the testing and all those phase by phase, Scrum meeting will be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I
So,
understand. So
to
that
achieve
is
the
the reason.
targeted requirement. So,
Uh,
based on that one, we continue.
Yeah, see, these things I know the same thing only we are also following, but I want to know like for this case, like what they like when you are closely working to that person now. So they told you now some scenarios like just for my understanding, I'm just asking like
See,
what.
one of the environment, what it happens is, so it's a financial service environment. Okay,
Okay, okay, okay, okay, okay,
so
okay,
they have to fetch report something like that. So
okay.
the Wintel team will schedule patching for every weekend or something
Yes, 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 yes.
based
Monthly
on the
once.
environments, based
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
environments, right?
Correct,
So
correct, correct.
whenever the patching is done, they will reboot the server.
Yes, absolutely.
They
Yeah.
rebooted the server, the active become passive, passive become active.
Correct, correct,
Okay.
correct.
Again, the morning when the user is trying to connect the server and he has to submit the report to IR management, financial data.
Mm-hmm.
So he faced the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
reported the issue and escalated the issue.
Okay, okay.
So this thought comes to them, the DBA team, like
Uh-huh.
that. This is the scenario we are doing. So is
Uh-huh.
there any possibilities like we can automate this task? So
Automate mean what is the task automatic? Like just to
whenever the
uh,
user is created on the environment,
uh-huh.
cluster environment, the same has
Uh-huh.
to be replicated in the secondary server. So that when the
Oh,
failover
okay.
happens,
Mhm.
failover happens. So when the user is trying to connect, they should not face this issue.
Oh, super, super, super. That's a very good idea, actually.
And one more thing, so it is not a single. This is the scalability of the PowerShell.
Okay.
Okay,
It
here
means
they are passing the you know
uh-huh.
So they are passing this one, the list of instances on the server. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
They will just give the list of instances, or we have a PowerShell script to list all the instances on the server. It's like, for
Okay.
example, in your one server, if it is a
Yeah, we
consolidated
are creating multiple instances. Yes, correct,
yeah,
correct. Yeah.
they will be having more than 10 to 11 instances on
Yeah,
that
it
particular
depends
server.
upon the cluster size actually. Yes, yes, of course, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we have a PowerShell script to list out the list of instances on the server. That one also
Uh-huh.
there. It will
Uh-huh.
populate one more file, the
Uh-huh.
instances. So that
Wow.
instance file will fed to this script,
Okay.
so that it will run on every always on configured instance,
Okay.
and identify is there any new user created on the from the last 24 hours.
Oh, so you created a task scheduler to run this script.
Yes.
Okay, so
So
it will be checking in a daily 24-hour basis,
yes.
like any user is created. So if it is created, definitely it will be the replica one. It will be creating in the passive node. Sorry, yeah, passive node.
Yeah, so just avoid all those things. First, we concentrate on the scripting programmability fundamentals. Okay.
Okay.
See, first thing is here you can see that this one is try catch block. You notice it, right? So this is the error handling.
Error handling. Okay.
Yeah. So try catch is error handling.
Okay.
So at the end, send notification is there, na? So this is the
Mhm.
function which is created to send a mail to the end users.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is the commands, like these are all the commandlets. Invoke
Mhm.
-SQL CMD.
Okay.
These are the commandlets in the
Okay.
PowerShell.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
invoke
you
command
can see,
I've seen multiple
yeah,
sometimes.
this $count1 is there, na? It's a
Mhm.
variable.
Okay.
Okay, so we are just to see, for example, this is invoke SQL command. We are
Mhm.
storing it as one variable.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
whatever the output will come
Mm-hmm.
from this, so it is
Oh,
storing it in a this count value.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
if it is a see, the HDR enabled, the value will be 1.
Hmm.
If it
Okay.
is not enabled, means the value is 0.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just checking here. It is a if block, the condition block.
If else statement, something like.
Yes, yes. So I'm just checking here. So if the count value is greater than 0,
Mm-hmm.
so if it is greater than 0, then only I am executing this list of tasks.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, if it is value is not greater than 0, means that is a standalone server. It won't execute the script, this part of the code.
Okay.
Okay,
Super. Super.
yeah, so like in this this is like these are the arrays we can
Okay.
use. Okay, in the count one, it is a simple variable. We can store
Okay.
only one value.
Okay.
Okay, whereas in case of array, we are storing multiple values within that name only. We can just trying to access that name. See, for example,
Mm-hmm.
so you it will fetch the data. Okay, this user is created on the primary. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
right. So you have to execute on the secondary server. How the script will identify which is secondary?
Okay.
There will be a lot of secondary. Right? Multiple, three
Yeah,
node
yeah.
cluster.
For a three
Yeah,
node cluster, four node depends on like yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Of course, of course. Yeah.
yeah. So in order to identify that one, so this, we are using the arrays here. Based on the index, it will assign which is primary and which is secondary.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the for each object.
Mm-hmm.
So these are, what it will do is it will perform the operation on row wise basis.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, I will just this one is a vast, so I will just give some examples. Like, see, you get a you have to identify, or you have to create a report on which currently on this particular time, which process is taking more, CPU or memory, something like that.
Okay.
So the what PowerShell will do, it will give a command get -process. Okay, you just need to pass the um, application name, and you can format the data as you want.
Mm-hmm.
So it will give complete information.
Okay.
So here you can see the pipeline operator, right? This one,
Mm-hmm.
highlighted one.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
whatever the get process explorer will give, that
Mm-hmm.
that output will be passed to next this command.
Okay.
That's why the PowerShell is a rich in parser.
Oh, super, super.
Okay, so this is simple. You can just write, after this one, we can mention filter the data. All the things we can perform here. Filter the data and match the condition, and we can mention the if condition as well in
Mm.
single statement.
Okay.
That's why
Super.
the PowerShell is a rich in parser.
Okay.
Okay,
Super,
so
super.
second thing, like for example, you don't know your since you were beginning, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, now you want to create one folder in some drive.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You don't know the commands,
Okay.
or like for every command, see
Mm-hmm.
for get process, so the arguments has to be passed.
Okay.
Okay, these are inbuilt commandlets.
Okay.
So how do you understand the get process? It accepts the list of comments or list of arguments or not. So for that purpose, see,
Mm-hmm.
the PowerShell provides the get-help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Okay.
along with that, you can just mention the um, commandlets which you want to pass. Get for example, new item.
Okay.
So it will give the aliases and the list of arguments it is taking. For example, new item. Okay,
Mm.
I will show
Mm.
you what new item will be used. So the path is the location of the where you want to perform the operation. Okay, the data type for this one is string.
Okay.
Okay, along with this, the item type. You want to create, for example, in this scenario, new item, you want to create a directory or you want to create a file.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
all those things are there. Okay, after that, the value and force means just elevated operation you will perform, right? So in
Uh-huh.
order to achieve that one, we use the force.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and confirm and use transaction command parameter. So
Okay.
we'll go by step. If you want to pass all these things, see, you will get confused. So I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
want you to
definitely.
get confused.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll,
See, actually, I'm looking the same scenario only.
okay,
Yeah.
for example, see here the new item.
Mm.
So
Path
path I am
mentioned.
passing is C demo new PowerShell folder,
Oh,
and item type I is mentioning is directory.
okay.
Okay, so if I go to the C drive, I
Mm-hmm.
don't have a demo folder
Mm-hmm.
and a new PowerShell folder also.
Okay.
Okay, so I just execute this statement. It is created.
Okay.
Okay, now if you go and check in the C folder, it is created demo
Uh,
new PowerShell folder, and you can verify the time as well. See, 8:40.
mm, super, super.
So you have to learn like step by step. So which are
Okay.
all the things you need to pass for the new item?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to go through by the get help command. You just pass that commandlet name here. You will get the the syntax. You just run it as per the syntax. The task will be achieved.
Okay.
Okay.
Super, super, super. Thank you so much for giving the demo. It's fine. It's fine. I'm happy for that. Definitely, This is what I'm looking actually. So
Okay.
uh, I'm fine, Suraj. I believe that it's almost. Yeah,
Yeah.
Suraj. This is fine. This is fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. No worries.
Yeah, for example, like this is the scenario,
Principal
like
or service, like
yeah,
for the printer server, I got it.
yeah. So you need to identify the print spooler whether it is running or not in
Uh-huh.
the across the your environments servers.
Okay, okay. For that,
Okay. So for
uh-huh.
that, so this is the basic command.
Okay.
Okay, you just need to run this one, display name as printer spooler. It will give the status, name,
Mhm.
and display name.
Okay.
So you can just modulate this data as per your requirement. Like you want to report or send notification to some team whether this print spooler service is not running.
Okay.
Okay, for that
Oh.
we just put a condition whether it is running or not.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is not running means we store it in some Excel file or CSV file.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be performed across all the servers. Once the list is script is completed, so which are all these principal services are not running, it will send it to the recipients.
Oh, super. Oh, really. Tomorrow definitely we'll start the class. No worries. Like tomorrow, like what time? Like we can sample 7, 6, whatever. 6 is fine or 6:30?
6:30 is a bit difficult for me.
Yeah, 7, fine. 7. We can
Um,
start. This is
we
enough.
can, yeah,
And
7 is fine for me. Yeah,
yeah, then 7 we can start. No worries.
yeah. And if we, and wanted to inform one more thing, like if it is any means any um some emergency things comes means it will be the time will be slight differ. Okay.
You can inform me. No worries. If you're like your comfortability. I'm flexible. Okay. No worries.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
like you can ping me like.